everybody. My name is Nolu Malope, and welcome to The Spotlight, the show where we shine the spotlight on any industry-related information, activities, events, awards, anything that is industry related. That's what the show is all about. The people behind the scenes, the people in front of the scenes, we're hoping to have them all so that they can share their insight into the gospel music industry and the industry at large. Now, today's episode, being the first episode, we have to kind of set the tone for what we're trying to do here, right? So don't be scared, guys. Okay, I'm going to give you the title of today's episode. I haven't told them what the title is because I didn't want to scare anyone. Don't be too scared. It is The State of the Gospel Music Industry Address. That is what we're doing today. Don't shake your head. So my guests today are some really incredible people who have worked in the industry, some for over 20 years, some are industry movers and shakers right now, some are really the future of what the industry is all about. And they're going to be telling us from their point of expertise what they think about our current state of the industry, as well as what we want to see happening in the future from 2025 moving on within the gospel industry. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves because their CVs, their bios, their profiles, and it's like 5 pages. And they all do so many different things within the space, and I don't want to get anything wrong. So let me see. Ini, mini, mini. Let me start with my big brother, Tebogo.
Somehow I felt like this was coming.
You could just feel it, ne? So please do introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Tebogo.
Yeah.
I have been in the industry in both a performing capacity and behind the scenes. Yeah. Possibly for close to about 23 years now. I've worked in music, I've worked in TV, and I've worked in film. This is pretty much home, and I'm humbled to be in the midst of such esteemed and accomplished colleagues in the industry.
Yeah, so thank you for honoring the invite as well. It was very important that you're here because you have been a channel head at like One Gospel. You have worked in the industry since back in the days of gospel times. You've directed, you've produced. He's been a casting director, he's been a producer for artists as well, in and outside of the gospel space. So I believe you've got the full picture of the past, the present, and the future of gospel.
I was trying to avoid all of that. So,
I know, because you guys like being humble. Like, no, guys, I just did a bit of this. No.
You need to be humble.
You need to be humble, Peace.
With your work.
Okay, Peace. Show us how.
But to be honest, as in the usual, not just doing it.
Yes. On that note. Yes, yes. On that note, since we're now, you don't believe in being humble, I guess Tebogo is like, as in humble. Ngicela introduce again, Peace ukuthi obituary wakho izothi producer stage man izothini.
Mina guys ngizokhuluma iqiniso. Yazi ngiyabathanda abantu abakhuluma iqiniso la. Nami ngizokhuluma iqiniso. Mina ngikho humble.
First and foremost, disclaimer.
I am not humble. Mangabe ngizofunda something ngami bathi the humble ngicela usuke umuthi umakha. Peace I
never. Ana Peace.
I am not humble. And even when I'm meeting someone's friend, sekumele sibe humble.
Yeah.
I always remind my friend, hey guys, sekumele sibe humble. Especially sanibona. Mawuphuma lapho kubhlungu la.
Kubhlungu ngokuba humble.
La manzi manje.
So what do you do? Tell us.
So my name is Peace Maphalu, and what I do everything in production. Where your lighting, your stage, you as an artist, your people who you want to hire, social media, I mean everything. So, if I was able to do everything, this is the industry I turn to patal. Niwenze the sound check, niwenze the in, but I don't wanna lie, I do everything. I gave myself an opportunity to learn everything in production.
Yeah.
So I'm one person who I look at people and I'm like, why are you panicking when there's we can get someone who can do this in 2 minutes. This is the industry. There's 100 people who can do something. There's 100 people who can do this. And if you feel like this one is disappointing me in 2 days, speak up so we can give you contact to call this person.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with this person, I trust this person, this and this. They'll never disappoint you. So, trust me, if you have me in your event,
It's going to go smoothly.
you will see millions of views. You will see this and this and this. And you're just like, hey, boo. Also, if you are doing a show,
Yeah.
I want you to know, ukuthi kuzoba an audience yakhe ezoza bese kuba neyami.
Okay. So as mabakbuka
Ibandla lami
kuthi wenze stage management wena une audience yakho
abazanga
to watch you.
uzocula bazobona stage sami.
Oh wow.
Because those are my people.
Yes.
To be honest, my mom had once said to me, there's a certain project that I worked for, and we had differences and I had to leave.
Yeah.
And when they did another show, it did not do well. It was, yes, we had differences, but I was really hurt. I put so much work in the previous album they had. Now it's going down. I'm just like, why are you allowing this? Okay, call me. Yes, and I'm just going to do the job.
Yeah.
So that whatever brand we're trying to build, it goes up there. So whenever I work with you, I'm not there for you to get sales and everything. I'm there also for my name. And I had once told Ungabagas, I say, I'm canceling this recording, there's COVID with the venue, blah, blah. I say, you can cancel everything. Tina says, show. But we are continuing with our show. So I'm that person that you need.
At every show. Yeah, I love that. We're going to get into it a bit more, even the people you've worked with and the highs and lows. Mauti, sometimes you're not getting paid. Sometimes you're fighting. Don't go into deep. Wait. It's still introduction. Peace. Have some peace, please. Last but definitely not least, you know how you know somebody's like a star?
Yes,
why is
that's how you know.
Because my eyes are not representing me well right now.
Right now. Okay. They're failing you. Oh, okay. We understand. Judah, please do go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah?
I'm
about you. I'm sleepy. What's good, everybody back home? My name is Judah. Primarily, I'm a keyboard player and I produce a lot of gospel music. I've worked with a couple of artists for quite some time. Yeah. So, man, that's really top and bottom about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Humble. Too humble. One. You've worked with a couple of artists.
Yeah.
We see, if you don't know Judah and you attend shows, like let's not even speak about from a perspective of being an industry professional. If you attend gospel shows and you don't know Judah, I don't know which shows you're attending. Because 99% of the time, Judah is actually the one playing behind the scenes. Yeah. He's the MD. Exactly. And we would say that because he's very active. You can watch him. You can literally be there. Artist. So... Oh yeah, Linda. Sorry, Pagamazasa.
Wow, exactly. When I family sifunela abafundisi bakusekele babo and sobuna labashana ngempama bakulumai.
Okay, please. And every 5 minutes I've got my sister here. My sister's the producer. Her name is Tandega. She's off camera. She said don't introduce her, but like really you have to know that it's not just us here. She's also a part of the conversation. And I'm specifically bringing her in because I need someone to say peace. Calm down throughout the episode.
You understand how excited I'm.
We're also excited to have you here.
I'm not saying you guys must invite me to your podcast. We are done here.
Peace.
Peace.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, first official question. We are speaking about the state of the gospel music industry. As you've seen, there's people that have been in the industry for a long, long time. There's people who have been in the industry for a couple of years already and are creating waves. People who are the future of the industry, people who encompass the entire industry. I want to know from you guys, how do you feel about the state of the gospel music industry right now? If we just say right now, it's the beginning of the year, so it's a good time to reflect on what has been. How do you feel about the state of the industry as a whole? Are we growing? Are we stagnant? Are we regressing?
It's an interesting question First, before I even get into it, I think one of my favorite things is to watch Judah while Peace is talking.
Yo, I know, right? This couch. Yeah.
So the state of the gospel industry in South Africa is really interesting because in a lot of ways it feels like we've grown, we've progressed compared to where we were 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's in there where you find this tension where people are not really referencing back to where we come from, and then they start reinventing the wheel, where they feel as if they've accomplished stuff that had already been accomplished 30 years ago, without even the help of, Twitter, the hashtags, where old artists were already setting trends that we could actually be building off of. And we probably would be leaps and bounds. I was actually thinking earlier today, funny enough, in terms of our sound, we seem to be where Richard Smallwood was years ago. It's a beautiful sound. People are doing amazing things in terms of arrangements, in terms of harmonies, in terms of all of these things. But if we don't use that as a reference point and then start building from there, we are probably going to stay here for a very long time.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. You're saying people are not, because people are trying to do something new. They are creating and believing it's something new when it's not. If only they were to learn about the industry and what's happened, they'll learn that this is not new. It has been done. And if you really want to do something new, look at what has been done and then improve of that. Don't just, or else we become stagnant, right? And you mentioned inventing the wheel, or reinventing the wheel, right? And I think I'd like to ask you, Judah, because you work in actual production. You're in studio with the artists when they're coming up with their sound and you guys are the ones putting it together and making it make sense. Do you think we are in any way reinventing the wheel in terms of the sound? Is our sound progressing? Is our sound stuck in the same place? Is it, what's happening with the sound, the way our music just sounds and the production quality?
You know what I think? I'm probably going to get cancelled after this, but hey.
Never.
So I think if there's 10 of us, only 4 care. Right? And out of the 4 of us, only 3 are actual artists, like art, creativity, right? And out of the 3, only 1 can afford it.
Ish. Yeah.
Right? I said to you, if there's 10 of us, only what? 4. Only 4 of us care. Right?
Yeah.
And out of the 4, only 3 can. And out of the 3, only 1 can pay for it. And so the one who can pay for it usually is the least popular and stuff like that, because their thing is so well thought out, well done to the T. They're annoying for the rest of the team. Does it make sense? No?
Why are they annoying? Like, are they just jealous for it? You are the one that can actually go all the way?
Because out of that 10, the 6 of us who don't care just do it. And it works in its whatever presentation, mediocre thing. It works. The domes are full. The show venues are full.
Every time.
People are buying the music. It sounds bad, but people are buying it. You know? You're flat singing half the time, but people tell you how much of a blessing you are.
Jesus.
And stuff like that, right? There's 6 of us who are like that. And unfortunately, that's the majority in the ratio. So that 4 already looks like there's just too much to deal with.
Yeah.
Bafuna makipot abaningi lawa.
Yo.
Bafuna
Take rider is like.
The next thing, akakhona ucula 1 lona. Mele njalo beze by 7. In kusho akakhona ukuminister kahle kahle udinga lawa nana. That's the 4, right? And then kule 4 le bese kube khona 3. Ezothi yazini. Asenzeni man. Whether bayasibiza or abasibizi.
Yeah.
Asenzeni siyayithanda lento ene siyenza kahle. Right? And then mase siyenzile ngoba kahle loyo 1 utho mina na enyuku yakhona. Bese lenye 2 ayisathatheki serious. What I'm trying to say is that our industry is so multifaceted that it can't handle its own different presentations of itself. I'll take gospel music, for instance. We have traditional and contemporary.
Yeah.
Contemporary, since COVID, is moving the numbers.
Yeah.
Because everybody has had to sit down and look at a screen.
True.
Right? And the traditional boys are the ones who do, it's those 6. It's that 6 who do it because they can do it. You know? And now, the times have said they must come ask that 4 to say, so why do you look nicer than me? Why, what's your camera? Like
the quality of the production of
like
the 4.
it's the same keyboard Judah was playing, but it doesn't sound like what's different there. And those are the questions that now the 6, of late is coming to have with the 4, right? And mhlambe out of that 4, 3 is like, yeah, no, this is how you do it, man. We can actually plug you here and stuff like that. That one keeps saying, no, it just costs 40,000 rand. And then everybody's like, nah, never mind, we're not doing it.
It's too expensive, yeah.
Right?
It's just 40,000.
And let me tell you something. This happens every 3 years, believe it or not. Every 3 years, we have a wave in our country, a wave of a sound.
A specific sound,
Everybody drops and people make their decisions. They say, sure. You hang out. I'm going to dare put my brother on blast like this. Kai has been a catalyst throughout his entire career. Every time Kai does something, we try to do it after like 5 years. We check it out. I mean, if you remember is it the All About Jesus?
Oh, okay.
The recording. Say his first live recording. At the Dome.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is still ahead.
It's ahead. But I think sometimes isn't the issue this, because this happens with pioneers anyway, like in any industry, even if it's fashion. When you're the first one to do something, the market is not ready.
Yes.
So you can be the first one to do it and flop.
Yes.
Fall flat on your face. Years later, you're the one that actually warmed up the room for the market to start getting ready. Years later, the market is ready.
Yes.
The same thing you did, and then they actually end up being the one to
even
succeed.
getting the credit for it.
They get the credit, they succeed, they make the money, and then you're left behind. You never actually succeeded in the thing you did 5 years ago. So is it worth being the innovator, and how do you find the balance between being a person who innovates but also is market relevant? Because sometimes you innovate so much, in market is like, what are you singing? Like, I can't follow your song. You know, you are transposing 10 times. And then later they're ready for that stuff, but at the time they're not. Peace. As somebody who also loves the music, goes to the shows, knows the market, is it worth it to be like, I'm actually going to start a whole new sound and be the one to lead it? Or should we just stick traditional so you can make your money?
I understand. But the thing is, as someone who I always tell people, you can't come to me and tell me about a product that you don't consume. If you come to me and want to talk about gospel music, I need to know you from attending shows back then.
Yeah.
I'm a show Uber the computer tickets.
A physical.
When you didn't have phones where they scan or whatever, where you have an actual ticket where you show by announce June, you show it December. December when you get there, your ticket is now you have now say computer tickets. Then you want me and you to have conversations just because you know this big artist and you go around not. For me, if you want us to have a music conversation,
yes.
I remember, I'll make Joyous an example. Joyous had a fan base that Babu Jabu used to call Tots, Joyous Tots. Trust me, those people know Joyous Babu Jabu, and I was part of those people. And it is easy for me to make comments about such, to say, you know what, not so long ago, last year, December, I don't know if it was December or November, I went to Babu Benjamin's show,
recording,
Chosen. We went there, and on our way there, I was with my sister, and my sister knows how much Joyous is dear to me. She said, "If Joyous," and I'm like, I just get emotional, because I feel like, why is such a beautiful thing dying in front of us? Like it's dying. siyayibuka. You know, when you probably know what to do, but who do I talk to?
What makes you feel like it's dying? That's heavy.
Wrong.
Heavy. The views of Peace are not the views of anyone else on this podcast.
The views of me are even on my page on Facebook.
No, but you know what? It's genuine. You know,
let me be
it's
honest.
his experience. Why
I
do you
want
feel
to
they
talk about
dying?
me and my sister and everything.
Yeah, what happened?
Me going.
Yeah.
So my sister asked me about Joyous. I'm like, Mtase, can we not talk about Joyous?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they have lost the sound that made me love Joyous. One of the things that people need to understand if you are in the music industry, when you make music, you're making music for 3 generations. You're making music for my grandmother, my mother, and me.
And you, yeah.
Now, I don't know this song. Likulwa, maybe a new artist.
Yeah.
I hear my mom humming the song from the kitchen because she knows it from way back. This will make me love the song. There's a song in Intando Emnandi. I didn't know that song from anything.
Yeah.
But and my mom joined. And I said, why you guys know this song? And they were like, you're still young, you're still good at it. And I also love the song.
Yes.
Now do you understand you have secured 3 generations to love the song?
Yeah.
To love your sound.
To love
to
you.
love everything that you've done. Hence, Umama Rebecca Malup is still relevant till today. Because the sound has been
Cross-generational.
the same and it was respected with you. And like, I mean, in Ngandwin, once was a thinking,
you know.
you just know, Ngandwin no rekupuka.
Yeah.
So there's a thing, even if you want to modernize something, don't lose your sound. That is dangerous. Because now you are losing your sound and you want to introduce all these modern things.
Yeah.
You were filling up venues with 10,000, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't fill up with 3,000 now because you have lost even us, the youth. We are Sarasel. We literally say that.
And I hear
because
that.
You want, in whatever that you do, there's contemporary, there's this and this and this and this. In whatever that you do, you find other artists now also losing their sound because they want to fit in a certain sound.
Sorry to cut you. You know, I'm so sorry.
Artists,
you know, that's really in my mind right now. Like
That's joke.
No, it's fine because you'll get back to your point, Peace.
What he's saying is so true. But do you realize, Peace, that, and I say your clients because you're like talent management, your clients don't know what it is to have a sound, bro.
Let me tell you, all the people that I work with know.
I'm saying this as a producer.
Yeah. Okay, from a producer standpoint, they don't know.
Like if you're a steakhouse and you're known for the most clean cut, fresh steak in the world, you need to know your cow business like the back of your hand, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to know this is what makes my steak great. But a lot of y'all's clients don't know that.
Not my clients.
I mean, it's quite possible, bro. Do you know that? Umfudumezo has sounded the way he does for years. And I tell you, one of the first things that give him his sound is the sound selection on the keyboards. There are things on the technology he
that
uses
are just built in. He can't change.
Yes. So the box he exists in, it's made for him. He probably doesn't even realize it's in a box. And a person like that is much safer with their sound
Yeah.
than a person who can see the box and even come out of it every now and again. Claire has been consistent in her sound since. It's never changed, right?
I want to challenge you with Clay.
Yeah, okay.
No?
Yes.
Do you believe or do you think Clay was introduced to us Ngamakulong and who's proper worship? I mean, Utle Maga performer, Beyi show. Like you say, there's what's this Zulu worship? There was a time I remember it was in Durban.
Yes.
She sang that song. I think we you know the worship interval where the show is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the keyboard, everyone is praying, Clay is crying. Like we are trying to get the show back in order because Umoshi.
Yeah.
Then she was introduced to us like that. Now you're just like, this girl can worship. 2 years later, Zulu tradition. She's from a traditional church in Newcastle. You understand? Zulu, you start loving this girl. 2 years later, she comes with an album It's contemporary. It's English.
The big album though, the
I don't wanna
debut.
lie. I've never lied about not listening to English songs.
Yeah.
Angimuza uNkulunkulu when we do that. Ngidinga ngeSuthu or Ghana. Even if you come in with East Ghana or Zimbabwe, there's a direct connection. In English, bagithi sengilalele the technicals that are nice, your revs and everything.
Yeah.
But now, for me, truly speaking, I miss the play that was introduced to me.
I think there's something in what Praise is saying, and I'm bound to agree with both of you. But what I'm feeling you saying is that the contemporary music is so focused on the technicals that it loses the soul of it. And I find that sometimes you find, and this speaks to what you were saying, that because artists don't have a specific sound. The sound that you actually hear on the albums is the producer's sound. And because there is a limited pool of producers, you find that you'll find the same producer on 5 albums, and then all those artists end up sounding the same. Then that producer comes with his own team. Bass sounds the same on all the albums. Keyboards sound the same.
There's a baseline, and it's just like, then you look at their production goods. Oh, because
It's because the producer's the same.
Right.
Yeah.
But that is not to downplay the skill of those producers. Like, we have very talented producers in this country. The fact is, you probably have not discovered your favorite artist yet. Because there's just such a wide pool, and the people that are making it, as you were saying, are people who have the capability to, in terms of finances, in terms of whatever. Your favorite artist is probably somewhere in a back room somewhere, unable to
and
get
it's
an
a song
Unable
that is
to.
just old. No one knows about it.
But then this is the question again. This crossover between being traditional and being modern or moving forward. Because at the same time, there's a danger of saying, "Hi, Mara mina, uban ban ngimthanda, I acula this type of sound." Wait. Yes. Please. But do you get me? Like, there's a danger of being stagnant because everything just sounds the same because it's Tinas. We say no, but I grew up listening to this sound. I want this sound, right? So now an artist comes like Clay. You know her from doing from Joyous. You know her from doing traditional, and now she wants to reintroduce herself or modernize or grow. Just grow.
Reintroducing yourself is also dangerous.
That's what I'm asking. Is there a balance that artists can create in doing that, right? Is there a balance, or is there no balance and therefore they must just stick to what they were introduced as from the beginning? You, number 1, number 2, yeah.
I like that. I never work with an artist. You can come to me and say, "Hey, Peace, I want to work with you on this project," and I'll be so honest with you. Hey, the style of school, as I was saying before, you need to consume what you want to comment on.
Yeah.
So all the artists I've worked on since Ngatala ukusebenza nama artists, I'll make an example on Uzaza.
Yeah.
When Uzaza left Spirit of Praise, she then said, "I'm doing my first album." There's this thing of, even you guys do it, everyone, the fans and everything. Not even the fans, the most, but I would say, no, the fans are the ones actually. So, banentelo yokuthi, hey, ubani uyafudumeza. You understand?
Umfudumezo njani?
So it's recycling old songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Uzaza, I think that thing.
Oh yeah, Umfudumezo like
microwave.
microwave.
Because now you are oh, you didn't get it. The way he got it. You know this thing about we are walking out and it's like, "Peace Maphalu, I didn't get that." That was him. Thank God
We got it now.
You are in the same coach with us. Then people will say, "Angutanda Umfudumezo." The people that you work with as an artist need to be honest with you. Uzaza, the industry is broken. Uzaza and said, "We are Umfudumezo."
Yeah.
Okay, we are Umfudumezo. Uzaza wa KPDP bengekho la ungayizwa khona.
Yeah.
How nina futhi nini
and the Piri is a him.
How yaphuma imbewu. Nayenza nangesipostoli, Zayoni nayenza. And you are thinking, "Mamzaza, in that Umfudumezo, asikiki njalo." And still like knows as I one thing about us. In South Africa, yes, yakika kon was a stole airport.
Can I just
I
say
say I
something
have
interesting about specifically Zaza? I worked with Zaza when she was starting off. Before she even, like, while she was still in school. Zaza studied jazz, right? She was a jazz student. And at the time, we knew nothing from her except the jazz. Like, you put her on stage, that's what you're going to get. And the very first time that she did a song for Joyous Celebration, Namtlankos.
And she left after that.
What is Zaza doing?
Oh, it was a shocker to you guys because it's not jazz.
It was so far removed from how we were introduced to her. And funny enough, she has reinvented herself, and that's where she is now. I think it becomes a question of preferences, personal preferences. Like, for instance, you like how she's reinvented herself in that style of music.
Because I was also involved in doing that.
Has evolved from you in terms of going contemporary.
Yes.
Where she started with you. So I guess it becomes a matter of personal preferences where you will find some people actually just want new music. Because I went through a phase in my life where I didn't understand, and you might remember back in the day, it's about Mega Gospel. My brother's 40 used to host this thing called Mega Gospel. And his ethos was the only artists that he's going to put on stage are artists who are writing songs, original music throughout the whole show. Because the industry was stuck in a stagnant phase where everybody was just
Umfudumezo, yes, over and over again.
And we were tired.
I think
Umfudumezo was instrumental.
Yeah.
In a large part in where we are today.
In shaping the industry to say, let's move away from Umfudumezo and move in another direction.
And so now today you find Abu Muso because of that. You find Bubuyo worship because of that.
Yeah.
Can I comment on Indaba Umfudumezo? I think also, to be honest, I, as someone who is a marketing analyst as well, I don't think South Africa is ready for new music. That's why you get that, let's say you are going through stuff. Hey, we are going. You know, if phone is not on silent, you know those problems where you just like, hey guys, leave me alone.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you have an album that has good contemporary written music and everything. Then that album, you know, part 2 where there's just Umfudumezo, Our Father and everything. Let me tell you.
You're going to listen to part 2?
You are not listening to part 1. I don't care. There's an artist this way, USA, you are not listening to part 1.
Yeah.
Uzokhala no part 2.
Yeah.
Lo no Umfudumezo lo nan. So at the end of the day, me saying South Africa is not ready for new music, we always go back to where we know.
Somehow, somewhere.
Entertainment
yes, but isn't that what's then making us feel a bit stagnant? We are not able to move forward really because the artists are held hostage to say don't you dare come with your contemporary. Like, don't you?
Also,
let me ask him just audience. So. You tell the audience. That's what I'm saying. Even at shows, I'm sure you see, and you know, at the shows, the artists will come. They've got their own compositions, but the minute they start singing traditional, the room shakes. You know, are the audience holding the artist at hostage, and how are we going to grow if we are holding our own artist hostage?
But he never complain now, but he never found a tradition.
Yeah,
We how 2 minutes into the song, so we are colorful, but you were saying you would like yes. Also, I feel like artists have a way you abuse a little.
Yeah.
Bazos abuse la ama artists zonda because ufuna ukama ukucule ngalendlela lo wakama so ngathi seku competition ukuthi ngizokungena nge-hit song
no, okay, yeah. I just want to ask.
It just makes the song.
Yeah, I just want to ask Judah as well, specifically with shows. You know, you do a lot of MDing where you guys are the house band for shows and stuff like that. So you know what it's like in the actual concerts, right? There's us talking from listening, streaming, from all of these angles, from TV. You know, at the actual concerts, do you find that the audience is really, like Peace is saying, Guti, people still want the traditional hymns, or are they more receptive of the new modern sounds?
Guys, you know,
Honestly.
Uzulele ya ish.
Shh, give me-
these things are also like, I'll say something like, in today's day and age, you just want to make sure you have good people doing your work, man. Because Judah, the musical director, we've done something with you before.
Yep.
I did not know where we were going, who's going to be listening. I just got a long list of songs. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so impractical, even in terms of just the human ability to be on stage for that long. But our fans or our supporters, they're drinking, they have stuff energizing them in their body. They'll stand there, they'll be excited the whole night and stuff like that. So as a musical director, I understand the need to build an experience for the ticket buyer, right? And when I'm building my experience for the ticket buyer, I research my client, which would be the artist. As soon as I get the booking, for me, the promoter doesn't matter anymore because there you get a brief. These are the people you're working with. And so I try my best to think as much as I can about the ticket buyer. How many times in Tebogo's set are they going to get to dance to their favorite songs? How many times in Tebogo's set are they going to be given a 10-second experience encounter with the Lord, like it happens in their cars or whatever when they're, and then that's how then we get all these arrangements. You'll see, remember with Taki sang for 20 minutes, but he sang 8 songs
Yeah.
in that 20 minutes. You arrange it, you do
And
all
I
these
will
things.
use Uza ngathi yonke into eyi-one.
Exactly.
It's flow.
It
You know,
flows.
we did that with Kaya at the first, second replenishment concert. We did the past 10 years of Kaya's career in 30 minutes. Right? And this is a guy, there's a guy who was explaining the experience. Uti Judah, it was like fire. It kept coming. It would not stop. It stopped when you guys got off stage and we felt like nothing happened. We felt robbed.
Yeah.
And I was like, cause arrangements, as soon as they start singing along to this chorus, they know we're on our way out to the next hit chorus.
So enjoy it.
And you're on your way out to the, now, what I'm trying to answer is that unfortunately, that isn't the artist's job. It's not the promoter's job either. But it's the person who then is trusted with the artist's presentation to say, hey, I don't think Michael Jackson's a bad idea. I don't think the late pop stars, well, what I mean by late is the recent pop stars now. Okay. I don't think they're too involved with what happens. I don't think Chris Brown decides when the fire comes out and stuff like that. Other people do that for him, and those people understand what the stadium will feel when the fire comes out.
Yeah.
What happens is that he's then told to just be aware of a fire that will come out.
Match the stage.
And for me, that helps him be the artist better.
To focus on his part of
right?
this whole big puzzle that has to come together.
Yes. And there's shows that can do that. Those shows are the best. People enjoy those shows because the person building the experience is a Judah who will sit on YouTube every other night watching Essence Fest and how Essence Fest does their things, and NPR and whoever. And Nolu will call tomorrow with a list of artists and a venue, and Judah will say, all right, this is an open field. Try and get your artists to send you praise songs more than worship songs, because nobody's gonna bow on grass. That's not what we're doing today. Yeah. Today we're just jumping for joy. Understanding those things,
understanding the audience and their experience,
even as an artist, helps you understand which booking to take and which booking not to take. And I understand this talks to food on the table and money in the bank, but bro, let me tell you something. There are gigs I say no to every weekend because I believe I'm not going to be useful to that person in any way. Me and that person are going to frustrate the hell out of each other. Even if I'm at the best, I'm the best at what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are guys who don't even think of doing the stuff I like to do because that's not what they want to do for themselves. You know, the guy who play tent style music, who kill it. Bro, I move for those guys on any stage. When it's that guy, Tebogo Moloi has 3 gents in his band. I still don't know their names. But bro, me and those guys get along like nobody's business.
Yeah.
When these guys get to the gigs at Judah, hey, move your big keyboards, man.
Yeah,
you know
it's time for us to come do our
And they
thing.
do their thing, bro.
Yeah.
The one will play drums on this keyboard, the other one will play bass on the one keyboard, the other one will play actual, and it'll work. Their thing, and he'll be the hottest artist in the entire festival after our arrangements and our horn sections and all of that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the thing: those people understand that that's what they do, and it's
that's what they do
and that's why
best.
it's them they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their faces you won't find on the same poster with other faces.
Yeah.
It's not a beef thing. It's an understanding of placement.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And in our country, everybody wants to be everywhere.
Everywhere, that's
And
true.
it doesn't work, you know?
Yeah.
You hear that the stadium is open for shows, everybody's sending CVs. Yo, I want to be there. No, it's not that type of, it's a heritage weekend, all right? Heritage weekend, we are singing our heritage gospel stuff, whatnot. There's no room for English.
So
there.
funugyo weshipha lapha.
Can I add to what you're saying? And
Yeah,
maybe
sure,
even
Debo.
taking it back to what you were saying. This morning, Utaneka posted a video, or it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Posted a video of a guy complaining about modernizing music.
Bazalwane.
The guy was complaining about
Ari don't say Jesu marung. Yeah.
I wonder if people are aware, even that traditional sound that they hold on to was once modern to a particular generation.
To the previous generation.
And they were moving back then. I mean, I remember there's this quote that says something like, the artists of today seemed to be more concerned about dancing explicitly on stage and making money and making music that is commercialized and so on and so on. And that quote came out of 1700s. I thought it would have been speaking about the Kirk Franklins and the whatevers. That thing was speaking about the guys who wrote Amazing Grace.
Like back
that they are
then.
concerned about being commercial. And today, that's what we hold on to as this is tradition.
Yeah. And now we're also concerned about the next wave that's coming in.
We need to realize there is always a market for everyone.
Yeah.
There's always a sound that will resonate with you. And it's traditional and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we should never lose it. However, there will always be those other people who are saying, Sharp, we've got the sound. Let's build on it.
Yeah.
What else can we do out of this?
Yeah.
And that will be the Judas. And when you put those together, you have a beautiful, radiant array of sounds that we can always pull from. Yeah. I mean, I was watching the Crown Gospel Awards. Yes. And there was a lady who came out and sang Uthando Lwakho. And it was Uthando Lwakho. It was such a beautiful rendition because all of a sudden it was removed from the 90s sound and it was brought into this modern era. And the interpretation, like, it paid so much respect to what Sister Reka used to do. And yet, it was faithful, but it was now.
It was modern, it was current, You have to allow the wheel to turn.
Exactly.
Yeah. And speaking about award ceremonies, because that is one of the things we have to discuss, are they still relevant? Do they still make a mark in artists' careers? I remember.
I want to know.
Let me ask the question. Judah, there's no peace. There's no peace. Yes.
Peace. There's a guy who won Best DVD before his DVD came out.
Sana.